I started a video this morning and I actually posted the video about, I started out talking about a distribution center in church, and then I was going to get into another subject, but I was outside with the dogs, and I can't focus when they're running around. I'm yelling, so I'm doing this. What I'm talking about is church. As you know, I felt called to pastor a small church for a long time. I say as you know, I talked about it, but I don't know who's watched this. In the last couple of years, I've really fallen out. It's been 6 months since I've gone to church at all, and then it was only sparing the last couple of years. I won't get into why. Big crisis. I will get into why. Because the church I was so active in preaches healing. Healing is a big thing. And the pastor from the stage said you can pray your way out of cancer. And that didn't happen for my mother-in-law. I was really, really pissed off. And I guess I still am at churches, because what they do, I realized last night, what churches do is they use the name Christian and the whole umbrella of church to, and people get pushed away from God. And now I guess I've been kind of on the edge of agnosticism, because I'm like, show me, God. Show me. Prove to me that you exist, type thing. On the edge. But I'm pretty much a theist, in that I believe that God created the world and then left it up to us. And it says in the Bible, go forth and multiply. Take dominion of the world and all that stuff. And we do. I mean, it's us against the world. God created the world, but God's not gonna intervene. We can't say, "Oh God, please save me," and poof, you're healed, or poof, you got a new car, or that doesn't happen. People say, pray for this and you'll get it. Nah, you got to work hard. I mean, but churches tend to preach, pray and you'll be healed, or pray and you'll achieve this. And that's not the case. I mean, prayer is great, but it's in the Bible. Faith without works is dead, being alone. I think that should be the cornerstone of a lot of churches, because faith part is the let's pray. But if there's no works, it's alone. It's dead. It's crap. It doesn't mean anything. So I'm a big proponent of faith and works. You've got to have both. And a lot of churches say, yeah, you do. But or let's not judge, and then turn right around and judge people. They say, oh no, we don't hate the sinner, we hate the sin. No, hate's hate. If you hate the sin so much, it's going to flow over, and you're going to hate the person. Too many churches say, WWJD, what would Jesus do? Who cares? We're not Jesus. We never can be Jesus. Jesus was a perfect human. That's what the stories say. He's a perfect human. I think it should be, what should a Christian do? Because Christ is the Word made flesh. Christ is the Word. So me, Am I Philip Jesus? No, I'm Philip Christ. No, I'm Philip the Christian, a little Christ. It's love, it's acceptance, it's forgiveness. Those are the big tenets. And if you love people, okay. Oh gosh, I am on my soapbox, and I get okay. The greatest commandment is this: love your neighbor, love God with all your heart, all your soul. And the second is this: love your neighbor as yourself. And that's where it stops. But there's something missing. What if you don't love yourself? That's a big, huge component. If you don't love yourself, you can't love other people. You can't love God. It will be so. So what do churches do? They push people out because if you don't hear that, if you don't hear that mental illness is a real thing, then you'll keep seeking. And you know what you do? You become an atheist. Professed atheism. A lot of people who profess atheism were pushed out of churches, maybe without even realizing it. Some people, they know they were pushed out because priests abused me, so I left. Well, just because that church sucks doesn't mean every church sucks. So it's really obvious how people are pushed out. But I think people, like, I was pushed out of Guts in that I don't fit there. And yet I want to go back. But I want to go back as me going into the church, not being absorbed into this. Because I don't want to be absorbed in this as me. I want to be me. And I still feel called to take this message because there is mental illness. It's real if you don't love yourself. So we've got to focus on self. We've got to focus on works. We've got to focus on doing things in this world. Giving food and clothes is a really huge deal to me. Huge deal because, yeah, it doesn't make everything better, but if you've got a full stomach, you're more likely to be receptive to God. You're more likely to be receptive to I can't say spiritual things. Just being. You're a more confident person if you've got decent shoes on. I mean, that's it. You might see that as generality, but it's true. It's true. Think about it. So I still feel this call to church, but instead of a church with a ministry, a charitable ministry attached to it, I'm thinking a charitable ministry with a service every once in a while. My wife is experienced with running. Gosh, when Guts started the distribution center, first 3 years she worked in it, instrumental in it. And I wish they'd hired her because she knows how to talk to people. She knows how to run things. It's just like, so this is what I want to do. This is my dream. Is buying a big place on the edge in the country, not totally in the country, but kind of on the edge of the city for a distribution center and having a room that's for sermons, for preaching, for talking, for discussion. That's in my head. It's in my heart.